Good morning, Cravens Cubs. It's Thursday, April 23rd. This is our 24th day of NTI work. This is the reading and writing video, and we're going to make these pretty quick today, so we're going to jump right into it. Today's lesson is about summarizing, and I went through and highlighted some important parts of this. A summary is when we retell a story or an article to help make the main idea clear. Remember, the main idea is the most important message that the author wants us to get, or what the story or the article is mostly about. So then our two paragraphs right here talk about how summaries in fiction and nonfiction are different, or how they might be set up. So a summary in a work of fiction is usually going to include what happens to the main character or the characters, what is the most important problem, how that problem was solved, and what's the outcome, or what happens at the end of the story. And then a summary can also usually include the theme of the work. So what was the message that the author wanted us to understand when we read or when we finished reading. Nonfiction summaries state the main idea. So what is the author trying to get us to understand, or what's the sort of like what's a sentence about the whole thing? What's the whole thing about? And then include details that support that. So like we talked the other day about the smoking example that was in the Brain Pop video. So the main idea was that smoking is bad for you, and then it gave details that supported that. So a summary can also answer questions such as who, what, where, when, and why. And that's when you know that you have a good summary, is that you can answer all of those questions. Alright, so your work today looks the same as it has every other day. Make sure that you're reading those hints down at the bottom. Make sure you're going over the reading guide. Read this before you read the passage, because that's going to help you to think about what you're reading and become a better reader. Alright, and then 20 minutes minimum. If you read more than 20 minutes, write it. If you're still reading Scholastic News or Science Spin, that's great. So make sure you're writing your 5 facts that you've learned and your 1 opinion about what you've read. And then if you're reading fiction, practice what you just learned here about summarizing. So it says to paraphrase or summarize what you read. So if you're reading fiction, tell about the main character. What is the main problem in the story? How is that problem solved? Or maybe you're not at a solution to the problem yet. But tell as much as you can from what we read here about summaries. Give as much of that as you can. Alright, so I'm coming at you in just a minute with math, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.